Okay, this is a 2007 Ford Edge. I'm putting in a PTU unit. The old unit was bad. It was kicking out black sludge and getting all over the exhaust and dripping on the floor, making bad smell. Anyway, I didn't find any videos online about putting in the actual PTU unit. A lot of stuff about putting seals in and drilling holes for drain plugs, all that kind of crap, but nothing about actually putting the unit in. Most say that it's a huge job, and that's about all they say about it, so I wanted to at least document how it is to put it in. It's really not that bad. This, like I say, this is 2007 all-wheel drive Edge. I don't know about any other years, but this one, not so bad. You do have to take the exhaust off. That's probably the worst part of the job. You need to take the catalytic converter off. There's 4 bolts on the top that are going to be tight and are going to need some heat probably, or they're going to snap. You need to take the complete exhaust down, and also the Y pipe. Where is the Y pipe? Right there. To the front to rear manifolds. Have to take that off. Those bolts are going to need some heat. Need to take the right side axle shaft out, the intermediate shaft, the bracket for the intermediate shaft support, motor mount on the bottom, kind of a dog bone style anti-roll mount, little heat shield, various bolts, and the cradle. I call these the cradle plates. I don't know what they're really called, but they're kind of like supports on the cradle bolts on the back. Those go, sorry for the light there, right there. They bolt up here and go over it here, kind of a protection on the, in case those break or something like that. So anyway, here's the PTU unit up in there. It's held on by 5 bolts, 2 there, 1 up on top, and 2 right there. So it's really not that bad. Once you get the exhaust out of the way, you do need to loosen the steering so you don't end up yanking that. Also tie off the steering wheel so it doesn't spin when it's disconnected and end up breaking something in your clock spring for your airbag. So then you take the drive shaft off as well, and you just drop the back of the cradle down. See, I got it supported here. I'm lucky enough to have a lift. If you don't have a lift, you're going to need to get it up pretty high in order to get room to do all this stuff. Separate the ball joint on the passenger side, get the axle shaft and the intermediate shaft out of the way, and then there is enough room to drop that catalytic converter out and to get the PTU in and out of there without having to disturb the manifold. Some videos guys mentioned taking the manifold off. And on the right side of the car, you actually wouldn't even need to take the wheel off. Everything can stay on the right side of the car. There's enough room. This engine is supported more on top than just by the cradle. There's enough room to drop it down enough, I found, in order to get the pieces out of there without having to support the engine from up top or do any weird stuff like that. The one question I had, which somebody else might have too, is what is this dang thing? This is a seal deflector. It's plastic, and I thought maybe when I opened it up, this is a new unit from Ford, that it might be a seal protector from shipping like this is on the other side, or some other weird thing that they do, because this is what the old seal deflector looks like. This is plastic, but it's a completely different look. And I thought, well, that must be something for packaging, shipping to protect the seal. I was going to try and pull it out of there, but actually that is the new seal deflector. And even though it's plastic and the heat exhaust comes right under here, if you know anything about Fords, you know that they love plastic. And they think it's a miracle material and it will never melt or crack or wear out or anything. They're in love with plastic. So here's the old unit. You can see it was kicking the nasty fluid out of the vent. There's no drain plug in it, of course, because Ford doesn't want you to do any service. That would be bad if you were able to service your own vehicle. There's the fill plug right here. It holds not very much oil at all. This is what I'm going to use here. Valvoline Synthetic 75 140. I believe it holds a quart or a little more than a quart. I've got two just in case. So it's not that bad of a job. Not as bad as this. This is what I did yesterday. 2005 Freestyle rear axle Haldex unit. Holy balls, that just about killed me. But this one, you could do it at home, save yourself some money. Probably the list price currently on this unit as of about October 2016, Halloween time, is about $1,000. Dealership wants $1,750 for the whole job, so $1,000 plus tax. You're going to save yourself $700 or so. Do it yourself. All right, hope that helps. Bye.